Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
Good
friends. We are
morning.
live.
We are live.
Uh, hello, stream friends. I hope you're all having a wonderful time zone today. It is a beautiful, very rainy Thursday morning here in Vancouver.
Yes. Perfect
uh,
for frogs.
it is perfect for frogs. Hello and welcome to a Fae Farm stream. It's been a little while since we did one of these. And it's coming up to the end of the year, so we thought it'd be nice to say hi to everybody, show off some
Yeah.
of what we're doing.
Yeah, thanks for coming by. Thanks for all your questions and comments in preparation for the stream.
I guess let's introduce ourselves. Hi, I am Josh. You may have seen me around the Discord. I'm a senior producer here on Fae Farm, and I do things like help make sure the game gets out and we can update it and fix bugs and work with the team on just making real cool stuff happen.
Josh
Mel.
makes the game. Makes the whole game.
Mel.
I'm Mel. Hello. I'm a senior technical game designer on Fae Farm, and I kind of help out with like mostly the systemic and progression stuff. So lots of recipe balancing and like pacing of different items and the progression between crafting stations and your forage and your crops and all that kind of good stuff. And some quest stuff as well. A little bit of everything, but we're around.
We're a small enough team. We do a lot of a bit of everything, I think.
Yeah, we have a few hats.
So what are we here to talk about? So yeah, it's been a while since we did it stream. And we thought we'd put a call out for questions, see what people wanted us to talk about. And I'm going to start right with a question from... Oh no, I picked one that I definitely can't pronounce correctly first. From DesiTalent18 on Instagram.
Nice.
Can you be more open about what kind of future content is coming? I rarely see updates or discussions from developers. So we've been busy.
Yeah.
It's been a busy year for us. It does not feel like it's only been a couple of months since Fae Farm came out.
I
We've been doing
know.
a
It
lot of things.
went by so fast, and also it feels like it's been kind of nonstop. But there's lots of cool stuff that we're like super excited to show you guys, and like all the little like quality of life updates and everything. We can dig into that a little bit as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we've been busy. We had the game come out in September. We had a bunch of like hotfixes. We've done some small quality of life updates for people. Then we got working on Coasts of Croakia, which is our first DLC, which just came out last week. So that's what we've been up to. And
Big frog.
Big frog. Big frog.
Big frog.
And of course, we need to let some of our folks have a break. So we have been a little quiet while we've been working away towards the end of the year, but we want to start talking to you all a lot more. So we're going to start trying to be a bit more open today. We originally said we were going to do an AMA stream and we're going to answer a lot of questions, but we're also going to show some things that are early. So we're going to do that. And I would be remiss if I did not promote our Discord, because that is probably the best place to be chatting to us. Is where a lot of really wonderful conversations go on. Great place to give feedback.
We're both in there. A few other dev folks are in there. We have lots of good emojis. It's a good time.
There's lots of frog emojis, that's for sure.
Yeah, the frog emojis are the main draw for me, but...
Absolutely. All right, so what are we going to do today? We're going to talk a bit about what's coming next. We're going to answer some questions along the way. We're going to talk about some future plans. And we just kind of wanted to start by saying thank you to everyone that has played Fae Farm. It is really an incredible thing to put a thing that you and a team have made out into the world. And it only comes around every so often.
It's kind of a miracle when any game launches ever. So we're super glad that folks have been enjoying it, and seeing all the feedback's been really, really helpful. So yeah, thank you for showing up. Thank you for playing. Really good.
Thank you for all the kind words, all the like great feedback that you've given us, all the like advocating for our game that you've done. It's been really beautiful and wonderful to see. So thank you. I also wanted to thank the wonderful content creators that have kind of made content based on the game across Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and Twitch. It's kind of been wild. You forget that your game is out until you log onto YouTube and there's a bunch of recommended things about the thing you just made.
Yeah. So. Oh my gosh, it's so wild to like open Instagram or TikTok and see like footage of Fae Farm when I'm like used to. I'm like, wait, because I'm like used to that just being on my work computer, and then I'm just like, oh, it's out there. Oh my god. When did that happen? I don't remember.
It's been a ride. So let's quickly recap Coast of Croakia, I guess, for folks who may not have had a chance to check it out. It was a busy week for games last week. So we showed a trailer up at the top. It is a free update out now on Switch to all players. It's also included in the deluxe edition on PC, and it's a separate purchase for people who have the standard edition on PC. It's available now. You can visit a wonderful new location, as you saw, and meet a couple of new characters, including Grenu, who, I guess, first little AMA thing, was called Froggo in development, and I still keep accidentally calling Froggo. You can tame critters, both new and old, and craft a bunch of trinkets that you can equip on your pet to give you buffs as they follow you around.
It's like a very like we wanted to do more with the critters, so I'm really glad that we got a chance to just have a little extra like thing that we could wrap up with being able to have the critters come with you and add a little like special trinket buff that you could craft and more things to make and build. So that was fun to like dig into a little bit, spend more time with the critters.
The animators had a wonderful time with those critters.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Oh, that was the best. Seeing all the little updates of the animation, the worm dance, that's my favorite.
There's also a bunch of kind of small quality of life things that we did in that update that is available now. So we heard feedback when the game first came out that there's a lot of like repetition in the dialogue that you get from vendors, and obviously you go and see them a lot. So a wonderful Eri, the narrative director on the team, did a massive rewrite, gave them all unique dialogue. And they have some wonderful lines in there. Seeing some of the reaction to them, they are glorious. We also improved how you can interact with animals in your barns so that they don't drive you quite so mad when you're trying to pet them all. Massively increased fishing experience, decreased the time it takes to craft seeds, and massively increased the storage shed size. So there's a bunch of good stuff in there.
Yeah.
And then we had a hotfix that went out the tail end of last week and early this week on Switch. Thank you very much for those of you bearing with us on that. We said we'd be open, so let's be a little bit open. Testing DLC before it comes out on all of our platforms is a little wonky. There's an odd process that comes to that, and the kind of debug workarounds that we had for that missed a conflict that happened if you already had the pre-order bonus, and that was messing up some people's almanacs. So apologies for that. And now it's a thing that we're going to take away, and we'll know we'll be making sure we catch going forwards.
Yeah. This is our first DLC for Fae Farm, so there was definitely some learnings that we discovered by being like, that's how that works.
I guess, Mel, what is your favorite part of Coast of Croakia?
Aside from Big Frog, aside from Grenu, who is just fantastic. He was a lot of fun just to work on as well, because he's a big character, and he kind of has some special stuff when you go and see him for the first time. That was really cool to see how that got built, and to be able to help with some of the questing parts of it. But I think for sure it's being able to talk to the critters and have little conversations with them, because I'm a big animal person. A lot of folks on the team really love the animal side of farming sims, and also just in real life. A lot of us have a lot of pets, so it's really fun idea to explore of what kind of personality would a little grubby worm have, and how would they move around, and the kind of different stuff we tried with it was just really creatively fun. And I think that's my favorite part is all the new critters and the conversations we can have.
Yeah, the kind of lines that come from them, the personalities that they have, the I say a little bit of attitude from some of them. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
my
caught a
favorite
little
bit.
lip from a butterfly. I was like, Airy. They said, "What are you doing in my yard?" And I was like, "What do you mean your yard?"
Yeah, yeah, it's been a wild ride. It's been a wonderful way to close out the year. I'm so glad we got to get that out
Yeah,
to
it was
folks.
quick, but we did it.
Yeah, and I guess you know, folks probably don't have a clear view of how long something like that takes to come together as well. We were, you know, we were working on the designs for that and starting to put it together before the game was even out. So we had very little, reception to decide what we were going to do. So we picked
Yeah.
something we had a lot of interest in doing.
And it was some like early information we've gotten as well from like spending time with folks at some of the events for launching the game at Summer Games Fest and PAX and Gamescom, of kind of figuring like people seem to resonate with the critters a bit, and the team really likes those as well. So we wanted to like that. We were just like, this is our best guess for something that would be fulfilling for like a small content update that we could make in a reasonably make in a short amount of time.
Yep, absolutely. Uh, all right, I think it's time to talk a little bit about what we're going to do next. I think it's that
Yeah,
sort of time. I
it's
did
time.
just quickly see someone asking in chat about these backgrounds that I have that are lovely and animated. Oh no, I've lost half my arm. These are actually from these wonderful animated kind of hour-long tone pieces, vibe pieces that we worked with an external agency to make. So I think they're all up on our YouTube. So yeah, if you wanna grab these and steal them for yourselves, they work wonderful as Zoom backgrounds. That's for sure.
They really do. Although I learned that they're too big of a file for Discord, so so I have the key art, but yeah, they're really fun to have.
Yeah, I have host privileges. Sorry, I can put in whatever I want here.
Joshua.
Let's talk about update 2.1, and I guess we will kick it off with a question. In fact, Mel, do you want to take this question?
Sure, which is the question?
It is the first one in our 2.1 section.
Okay. Scrolling down. From Riss Vixen in Discord. Hi, I'm really enjoying the game, but I'm struggling with the process of breeding hybrid flowers. Fair enough. With flowers being important to purchase and a lot of fun items in the game, is there any intention to help streamline this process? Ooh, it's a very good question. I think we maybe have a thing we could show you.
I think it's time. Yeah, we said we'd be open. I guess here you go. This is an internal build of the game. We do not normally show this sort of stuff, and maybe we will a bit more going forwards.
Yeah, that would be fun.
This is a test build of our game that we're probably a few weeks from finishing up, and I guess I could probably say who's going to stop me here. We plan to launch this around the last week of January. So obviously, the team's going to take a wonderful break over the holidays, and we'll come back next year, do some final testing, and get it approved by our partners. So this is an update 2.1 build. So Mel, do you want to show us some stuff?
I can show you some stuff. That is a thing I can do. So one of the things that, especially with flower breeding kind of being a bit complex, we added the ability to enter construction menu and reclaim your flowers, which allows you to like move them around and like put them in different like locations on your farm without like losing them by reclaiming like the soil patches, which is what you could do before. So this kind of like allows you to have a bit more freedom when it comes to organizing your flower patches and like expand your flower beds and everything without losing them, which is like a huge pain in the butt, especially if you spend a lot of time like making a really special like color of flower and then you like want to move it but you can't. So that is something that should hopefully help with like the organization of your farm and specifically with your special flowers, because those are really like obviously a thing that we would not want players to lose out on by having having the desire to decorate your farm more tailored to how you want it. So there's that, which is kind of it was a bit more than like what meets the eye is usually the case for like even small changes can be more complex than I think some people realize, including myself. So we're all learning a lot. um, I think another thing that was mentioned a few times was the passage of time, kind of not pausing when you pause the game, and that being kind of a, a bit of a oh hello, chicken came up and yelled at me. Being a bit of a frustration point if you want to spend a lot of time decorating your farm, and then you lose out on the day and you can't do your chores or gather more resources or do whatever else you want to do during the day, and there's just not enough time. So at least for alleviating part of that, if you enter the pause menu, we now have a beautiful, fancy new UI element that says paused, and the time pauses as long as you're in this pause menu. Um, the same is also for construction menu. So while you're in construction menu and you're picking out decorations and you're putting them around on your farm, and you can spend as much time as you want doing these things, time will not pass. Time is frozen. You have control over time itself. So that's something that I think will definitely help alleviate some of the stress and pressure people were feeling. That is not cozy emotions when you want to decorate your cozy farm and express yourself. If you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have time to water all these crops and then also decorate my farm. So that is one scenario in which that can be alleviated a little bit. So that's a pretty cool one. I'm super excited about that one because I know for me, at least, I get pressed for time pretty easily.
We've got a
else?
few other things as well that
Sure
I'm not sure
do.
whether we can. I'm not sure how much is easily accessible from where you are in the game right now, but there is a bunch of things, a lot of real hard work that is going on to help that pause situation for both single and multiplayer.
Yes, there is.
So yeah, just to make it clear, the world clock will now pause when you are in construction and when you're in decoration as well.
Mhm.
Please note that if you are in a crafting screen or a you're interacting with something that takes a passage of time to build, we don't pause there because that would get real confusing because nothing would ever be made.
Yes.
Also, buff and debuff timers will also now pause if the world clock is paused.
Oh,
so,
yes.
That means
Yes.
that if you have potions on you, if you have the well rested bonus, things like that, they also will now all pause as long as the game clock is paused.
Yeah, there we go. I've got a couple buffs here I can show. We also have this lovely hold Z to kind of see what buffs you have and how much time you have exactly left on it.
Yes.
So I think it's hold Z on the keyboard. I don't remember what it is on
I
the
think
controller.
it is the right stick, I believe. Yeah.
Ah, yes. Perfect. So now you can kind of see a bit more of a precise element if you want to pull it up just to see how much time you have left on something. And then I'll just wait for this to tick down a little bit, and then I will enter construction menu. And as you can see, it has stopped moving. And you can see on the timer here as well by pulling up the UI menu that this has also stopped moving. So
Yep.
if you are paused or you have a buff going and you want to build, you don't have to worry about that running out and wasting a potion by accident. And you're still fast. So that's good.
Yep. So what else we got going on?
We got trinket stuff.
Yep. Yeah, we've got that wonderful new kind of expanded stat view, so you can see full descriptions for all of the buffs and debuffs in the game, because some of them weren't super obvious. Animals and jumbles will also pause when the world clock is paused. I'm not sure how much of this is in yesterday's build, but that is a plan.
Yeah, let's see.
They may just keep going about their business right now, but that is the
plan.
They
are, but they are going to stop.
We're also going to make it so that you cannot die when the world clock is paused. So if you're in a dungeon, for example, and you need to pause the game, you will now be able to. Your buffs, like your miasma potions, will be stopped. The jumbles might complete their animation that they're on at the moment, but they can't kill you. They won't be able to. You won't be able to die while you're in there. NPC schedules will pause, so they don't get moved around and end up at the wrong place in the day.
They'll be right where you left them when you paused.
Right where you left them.
Yes.
You will the clock will also be paused when you're on any loading screens, transitions. So if you're using way shrines, or you're just loading into the game, we know that there's some folks that if you saved at the end of the game, saved at the end of a day, you would end up at the next one when you next loaded in. And then there's one other thing. I guess I'm going to quickly show what we're working on for multiplayer real quick, and we'll switch back to the game afterwards, Mel.
Yes, yeah, that's perfect. Multiplayer is a whole other beast.
So multiplayer is an interesting one. We do want to try and improve things for both single player and multiplayer.
Yeah.
And so we are going to make a change that does allow you to pause in particular places in multiplayer. Let me get the right button here. So this is obviously, as you can see, work in progress. It is something that we're planning to get into January's update. But basically, at the end of a day now, the game clock will not start until one player in your session moves on to start the next day. And we're also adding this little bit of communication where you can say, hey, please hold off, or that I'm ready if you don't have voice chat. So yeah, it will continue on as soon as one person continues, because you don't want to spend the whole day just with time not kicking down, but that'll help. And I believe it'll also be the case that if everybody is doing something that pauses the world clock in multiplayer, it will pause as well. So I do just want to say thanks to our wonderful designers, tech designers, engineers that worked on this. The game was, built in a very specific way as a kind of co-op game. We see how many people play the game in different ways, so there's a lot of stuff here that we want to bring you. Yeah, and this is all coming in January's update.
Yeah, so we want to make sure we're taking the time to make it a good experience for both co-op and single player. There's certain aspects of the tech as well that kind of need to be updated in order for things to be matched for both single player and co-op. So the ideal scenario is everybody has the same quality of life experience updates and everything for both scenarios. It just takes a bit of time to make sure that we get it right and get it kind of nice and clean and stable, so that there's reduce the probability of bugs where you lose stuff, because that's the worst.
Yeah, we got a couple of Twitch chat questions. Thank you very much to the wonderful Matt on our kind of publishing team for pulling some of these together. Thank you very much. Someone was asking, does pausing count inside the house? I think we did show that, but yes.
Oh yeah,
if you are in
sure
decorating mode, it will pause. Pika Blue 79 asked, will we be able to plant the reclaimed flowers on other farms as well, Mel?
Oh, yes. I'm pretty sure as long as you have the flower reclaimed, you can place it on any soil bed plot. I think with this particular build, I'm noticing a bug where I can't actually place it, but that is the thing that you will be able to do.
Yeah, you are just when you reclaim, you are reclaiming those into seeds. So they are seeds that you can use in any way. You can go plant them on a different plot. You can sell them if you want to. They're not going to make very much, but you can do anything that you would do with any other batch of seeds.
Yes, exactly. So if I didn't have a bug right now, I could plant the. Oh, there we go. I fixed it.
Excellent. This is why we show you an in development build.
This is just how it goes sometimes.
What else do we have in here?
Oh, the trinkets, the animal breeding trinkets. So there was some feedback as well that it was hard to tell what trinkets you had been able to use before. So if you open up the almanac now and go to animal care
charms, not
charms. Sorry, not trinkets. That's the DLC. Charms, trinkets, two different things. The charms have a little information bit down here where you can say successfully bred, yes or no. So you can kind of keep track of which charms are. Yeah, charms. Yes. Sorry. I'm looking right at the word and my brain's like, no, you did it wrong. But the charms, you can see if you were successfully able to use it or not. So then you can kind of keep track of if you don't see immediately which animals are what colors, you can take a quick look there to see which ones you're missing, or if you wanted to, get one of each. It's an easier way to keep track of it, just so the information's consolidated a little bit better.
Yep. So the Yeah, sorry, who was it that asked? Oh, Rose Gold Cat, I think, asked when we originally put the call out for questions, what kind of additional QOL improvements can players expect in the coming months? Yep, that's definitely one of them.
Yeah,
We also
that's one.
changed the last animal care job quest objective, because it, I think, was originally asking for 20 successful breeds of different colors and types, but it was confusing some folks because it included the base animals as a color. So we've changed that, and it
Oh,
will now be just breed the 16 charm colors that exist, and you can now track them in the almanac.
yeah, that makes that a little easier.
We showed off the improved stat panels, all the descriptions that are in there now. We also realized, as we were finalizing that last update, that when we said we gave new dialogue to all the NPCs, we actually missed a couple, because internally they are named very similar names to some other things.
Oh yeah.
So Pearl, Rosalind, and Tamael all have new dialogue as well.
Yay!
So those will all be in here. And for the folks that are asking in chat, yes, everything that we are talking about here is all free quality of life updates coming in our 2.1 update in January.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's our plan as well for like supporting the game in next year. There will be more quality of life updates that are not tied to any DLCs or anything like that.
Yep. Yeah, like I say, we I mentioned earlier we were very busy from the summer all the way through to the end of the year, and we had things that we wanted to bring out. This really reflects the first time that we've been able to kind of take a breath and really think about what we want to improve and what we want to touch up. So this is great. It feels awesome to get this stuff out.
Yeah, very much so.
So 2 quick questions that I just want to loop back to.
Mhm.
I think it was in Riz Vixen's original message in Discord. They also suggested fertilizers for flowers. This is
Yeah.
not a thing that will be in 2.1, but we saw your question and we really like it. So we're not committing right now, but it's a nice idea. It would be nice if we could get around to doing that at some point.
Yeah, that's something I'm kind of looking into a bit with the other designers, just to see like, yeah, what options we have in relation to how much time we have. So, but I really like the idea. I think it's a really good suggestion, really good ad.
Yep. And then do you just want to call out, like, following the release of our 2.0 update last week, like, we are aware of there's a couple of issues that we're investigating. There's like a very small number of crashes that people have mentioned that we're looking into. Our game is usually very stable, so we're looking into those. And there's also a
weirdly stable.
weirdly stable. We've all worked on games that are not like this.
Yeah.
And then there is a current bug where I think it's if you try and equip a trinket or enter the trinket equip menu when you don't have any in your inventory, you can get stuck and not able to jump on the coast of Krogia Island. So there will be a fix in this 2.1 update for that. So yeah, all of this stuff. We will share the full patch notes at the beginning of the year. There's also a whole bunch of other bug fixes and improvements because everyone on the team has been working on great things. We want to show off some of those highlights. So that'll be, I think it's the 20-something of January, and I will commit that far until we've actually finished the update.
Good. Yes.
Okay, so let's go down and see what we want to talk about next, shall we? Mel, I think if you want to continue playing, by all means, we'll work our way down the list to talk about some other questions.
Sure. I'm just gardening.
So let's talk about some things that are probably a little further off than January. We don't know exactly what our timeline will be for delivering on some of these, but we have a couple of topics that we know people have been asking about. So relationships. So
Ooh, yes.
Daffodil on Twitter asked if there are plans to add any depth to the relationship mechanic. Aziana on Twitter asked, I love this, I've got the whole quote here because it really entertains me. Please do something about my spouse. He just walks around my lot and does nothing like a decoration. And their suggestion was they wished that they could help you water plants, take animal drops, or even catch critters and make potions. So we're thinking about what our next update is after this one in January. This is definitely a topic that we've been thinking about. I think we agree. Mel, do you want to speak vaguely about some of the things we're thinking about? Let's not
Very
commit to anything
vaguely.
here.
Yes, not committing to anything, but it's definitely something that's been internally discussed quite a lot. Of like the role of the spouse, kind of being not fulfilling, but we also don't want to have the spouse be like just a chore machine as well as that feels bad. But there's definitely a lot of discussions going into the design of like what kind of activities, whether it's helping with chores or having more quests and dialogue, going on dates, all these kinds of things, basically to just like kind of flesh out and build up an actual full blown like relationship you can have with the spouse that is more fulfilling and has like more stuff to do. Like there's a lot of mechanics and gameplay loops that exist in Fae Farm, and we could definitely like build out some systems that incorporate some of those. It just is a matter of like again time and resources, and then like what would make sense for this as well. Because every decision we make for Fae Farm, when it comes to designing it, is we look at our peers like Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing and other like cozy farm games, but ultimately we want to make sure that we're making decisions that are in line with the like overall vision and pillars of the game. So uh, it just takes a bit of time, but it's definitely something that we're talking about quite a lot. There's been a lot of really good discussions, and I'm excited to like get started on whatever solutions make sense for us. Because yeah, there's definitely something we want to work on.
Yep. And then the other kind of hot topic that we have at the moment, length of days. Conveniently, you just hit the end of the day.
I did.
Lavender Bud asked on Twitter, but it's also something that's a common topic at the moment. Will we make days longer or allow us to adjust the speed of the day? I often spend until 2 p.m. taking care of livestock and farming, which doesn't leave me much time to decorate. So we hear that feedback. Absolutely. For folks who are in our Discord, you will see that I have been the person collecting a bunch of that feedback, so we're definitely hearing it. There's obviously these kind of significant pause upgrades that we're making in 2.1 that we think will help there. Things like, as mentioned there, being able to decorate and that pulls the time. But we're resurfacing, and after finishing expansion 1, we've collected a lot of feedback. We've got ideas. We've got some directions that we think we might move forwards in. I don't want to say anything too specific until we've firmed up our plans, but it's on our mind. We're going to let our team take a break over Christmas, and we'll come back and see if we still feel good about the kind of direction we want to go in. Because we totally understand that people like do not feel that like the time crunch, as it were, is cozy in their cozy farm sim. It's totally a valid piece of feedback. So we plan to stream a little bit more in the new year, and hopefully we'll be able to come back and share a little bit more of what we plan to do in that direction.
Yes.
And then let's talk about a couple of extra things. No one asked this question, and now I'm asking it. Way back before launch, there was a big discussion in our community about the fact that one of our animals did and did not have eyes in different places in the game. So I guess it's time to show.
I think we need to see, Josh.
Yeah,
this is a very unsettling inconsistency.
Yes. The eyes have it, I guess, is the joke there. Woolly Horns will be getting eyes in the actual in-game models. I am not sure exactly when we'll deliver this yet. Probably something like a spring update. But yeah, I'm sure the factions that emerged in our Discord will be happy about that.
Exactly. They can see. Can they see into the past or in the future? We don't know, but they can see.
Exactly. All right. We got kind of a roundup of some other questions. Lord Burus on Discord asked, "Can we expect more clothes in the future?" Jasmine on Twitter asked, "Will we get more outfits and hairstyles?" I am tired of being the worst dressed in Azoria. I get it. I think the point is, we definitely see the feedback that we didn't add any new outfits in DLC 1. It's something that's on our mind as we plan for the future. And obviously we are planning our second expansion. We kind of committed to delivering a second expansion before the end of June, and I'm not going to be any more specific on the timing than that. But I think we can we tease a little bit?
I think we probably should just a little bit.
Should we do that?
Just a little bit. We can show.
So we said we did say we would talk more openly about things that we're gonna do. Okay, all right. Let's press these right buttons, I guess.
Press the buttons,
normally
Josh, do
we
it.
would not show anything this far away at all. Here we go.
Holidays.
I think this should be going live.
Yeah! Oh my goodness!
So this is some very early. I'm trying to caveat this in the exact right way.
Use all the caveats.
This is a very early piece of concept artwork for the direction that we are thinking for expansion 2, which is the thing that we're kind of aiming for about that June timeline. This is a wonderful piece of concept art by one of our concept artists, Michelle, who is wonderful and brings joy to our art Slack channels.
Shout out to Michelle.
We will not post this anywhere else right now. This is a nice stream treat. But this is very early. This is to help us explore directions that we might want to go in. There's an obvious setting here that I think you can see which direction we might be going in, and that is up. But beside that, everything else here is still very much like ideas, things that we're thinking about, conversation pieces, basically. So now I'm going to take this down from the stream before I get in trouble. But yeah, this is a tease of DLC 2. Like I mentioned, we're going to try and be a little bit more open. We do not plan to hide all the content of the DLC until launch day. So we'll show you more in the new year. Everyone is very excited.
Yeah, but again, vaguely, we definitely want to add more outfits and ways for people to have expression of themselves and their characters and their farms. So a lot of that is being discussed and prioritized within the team, as well as like all the quality of life stuff and being able to like adjust our like just the little tuning things that make the game feel really good.
This is the thing. We want to treat our team nicely. We want to respect the community. We want to get that balance right. So we're going to disappear for a little. Not disappear for a little bit. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back.
I'm going to sleep for 2 weeks, and then
I'm going to lie on the floor.
I'm going to lie face down on the floor, and then when I come back, I will be. It's much better. It's much easier to like problem solve when you've had a little brain
not
break.
In the middle of December. That's for sure. So we're going to come back. We've got some really great, totally free quality of life upgrades that we're planning for the spring. We're going to get those out of the way, and then we'll start to talk about what's in that next, premium expansion. And same as with Coast of Croakia, that second expansion would be free on Nintendo Switch, available in the deluxe edition. So, all right, we said we'd AMA, and we do have a bunch of wonderful kind of general questions. So I think it's time to dive into them.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. I know there are some in the Discord, in the Twitch chat as well. So we will come back to those after we've got through the ones that we prepared in advance. Let's do it here. We're down in the general Q&A section, Mel. By the way,
nice.
Do you wanna go with the first one?
Sure. Let's see. Winston Dove in Discord asks, "Will you be adding any more animals to the game?" And yeah, I think the answer, once again, maybe. There are scope issues to consider, like timeline and tech buildings. Everything that you see in a game does take time to build, but it would be really cool, and it's definitely something that's like being discussed in the team as like very much a want for us as well. So if we can for this one, yes, but again, not committing because we don't know exactly how much everything's going to take, but it would be really nice. We would like to.
It's certainly on our list.
It's definitely on our wish list because it's always the a lot of us play the game as well, or play other games, and we know the feeling of like, oh, I really just want this to be in the game, but we're also the people building it, and we know how much time it takes. And yeah, scheduling, but very much a desire on the team.
Okay. Faven, which is a great name, in Discord. Any plans to release more wings that match the color palettes as a whole? I love matching everything. Mel, you want to answer this one?
Is a good question. So once again, like definitely on our priority list is like alongside, you know, animals and more romance stuff, more relationship stuff is more outfits. Again, self-expression is really important to us for the player and for your farm, and the player definitely needs a few extra like things to match together. And if we have the scope for it, it's definitely something that we want to include is more colors, maybe more wing shapes, maybe more like outfits, dresses, overalls, like anything cute and fun that we can afford. Definitely want to do.
Cool. Do you want to ask the next one? I guess I can answer it.
Let's see. Are there plans to fix the animals ignoring fences issues?
All right, yeah, who goes?
Yeah.
And I think there were some folks in the Twitch chat that were asking this as well. Animals are a bit rogue. They have a lot of a life of their own in our game. We know that.
They do what they want.
You saw the chickens coming and harassing Mel earlier on as she was playing. So we added the animal lure actually pretty late in development. It may even have been kind of a launch update that we added it in to help. But we know that that's kind of a placeholder fix, if you like. There's more that we want to do here. It's kind of less a bug and more they don't know what fences even are. The animals have no concept of such a thing. So I'm not gonna commit to like a release date, but we've had some internal discussions on how we would go about cleaning this up. Might mean potentially making the lure stricter. I think they can also currently like pick places to go as soon as they come out of the barn. Even if the lure is in somewhere. So, no definitive timeline, but yes, we're very aware of that feedback. As you can kind of see, like a lot of things that are updates at the beginning of next year are those like high volume requests, and this is definitely one that we're seeing a bunch. So,
definitely, yeah.
Let's jump to some Twitch chat questions. So let's see what we've got here. Trainer Ally asked, "How many years is the maximum?" I want to say it is something like 999 years.
Yeah, I think most of our stuff caps at 999,999.
Yeah. So I would strongly recommend not going that far, because it's the dark future. But yeah, I think it's something like that. There is plenty of time, and yeah, there's that.
It's definitely that.
we answered about fences and animals. Dark Guthics. One question I have is, will there be future equipment items that will be made to give buffs like the trinkets?
Ooh, like for yourself or for...
say rings, bracelets, or amulets that your character can wear.
Oh, things like armor sets and yeah. It's definitely something we discussed. Again, it's kind of a like trying to make sure that our designs are in line with each other and don't accidentally like overlap or cancel each other out. So it's definitely something we're discussing and see if it's something that would fit in the design. But again, caveat, no promises. If it fits, it would be really cool. I know there's a desire in the team to have like cool little armor sets or trinkets or things that the player can like adorn themselves with that get a passive buff for or something. But yeah.
Okay, next. 93 Ashley asked, will there be an option to change the clock to a 24 hours European type of clock? I can actually answer this one because we talked about it amongst some of the engineers a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
Yes, probably yes. Not in 2.1, maybe in 2.2. It's as I think we've illustrated in the way we've talked about some of the things. A lot of things are tied to our game clock, but we think this is pretty doable, pretty reasonable, and yeah, we've seen the request in a few places, so we've dived into it. One of those things on our docket for next year to figure out where it slots in. But yes, I would like to do that.
Yeah.
Rose Gold Cat asked, will fences work for keeping animals in the January update? not in the January update is a thing that we are working on for the spring. Alizi, I think. Lots of E's in that one. Will the Coasts of Croakia DLC have any more free included updates in it, or is it done and staying as is? That is a good question.
Yeah.
I don't think we necessarily have... a lot of the things that we have for the first updates in the year are like free to everyone updates that we want to make to improve systems in the game. I think the one place that potentially we have had some discussions is there's a couple of like buff or stat types that don't have trinkets right now. So it is possible that that might be a route that we go. Won't be in January's update because that's sort of the content that we're finishing up now. But maybe.
Yeah.
Deku Brush. Hi, thanks for the stream. I was wondering if I know that we have big Forg, but are there any plans to add very, very small Forg? Maybe you would need a magnifying glass to see him. I mean, we could just go and put an incredibly small frog in the game somewhere. I'm sure we can do that. Maybe there is one. We would have to ask our environment artists. Maybe there's one already.
What if there is one, or there will be one, and we'll hide it somewhere, and if you find it, then you can send us a picture. Oh my god. That's a really good idea. Thanks, Deku. Pork hunt.
Riven Blake, are we getting any end game content? So I think the DLC 1 Coastal Croakia content definitely supports you kind of as you progress through the game. Like, those buffs are going to help you. And there's certainly ones in there that help if you are decorating or farming or collecting everything at the end of the game. I don't want to talk too much about DLC 2 because we're still so early in the discussion, but I think we're definitely thinking of it more as something that people who have played a lot of the game already would get value out of. I think that's fair to say, Mel?
I would say so, yeah. Like, things that as you progress through the game or get further along in the game, we have all of our gameplay loops that exist there, and we basically be expanding on them and building on them. So there's more to do with more stuff for longer.
Spoon Greetings, wonderful username. Will we get more home customization? Yes, there will be. DLC 2 will definitely come with a batch more kind of customization items. I don't know that we have anything planned before then, but yeah, DLC 2, like our premium updates will include like decorations. Yeah. Rollsure 2282. Will we get the ability to marry other players in multiplayer? No. I don't like to say no. I like to keep the doors open, but no, that is not something we're planning to do. I don't even know that. I think there are technical reasons. I think there are age rating reasons. I think there is lots of things there. But no.
The law will stop us. There's there's quite a bit of technical stuff that just wouldn't fit within this, like, the way the project is designed.
Yeah. Okay, there's a couple more that we've got in Discord, and then we'll switch back over to our pre-prepped ones. Let me try this one. Soil Wraith, maybe? Apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. Would you add a nose to people? Now, I realise we've opened the door now by giving Woolly Horns their eyes back. I think we could probably safely say no. Although now I really want a kind of comedy nose attachment that we can get for.
I want Groucho glasses with a nose and the mustache.
Rizvixen asked, are there plans to add PlayStation controller support on PC? Can use the controller, but it still uses Xbox buttons. Maybe. I will take it to the team and ask about it. See if that's something that we can support. Yeah. And then before we dive back, I'll kind of take one more here from Discord. Naths. Wow, you guys are really testing me with these names today. Are you planning on adding more stations to the game to help automation? And I like this one because, Mel, you kind of spoke earlier about, like, we do want our game to kind of have its own quirks, have its own standalone things. I don't think we have a big desire to automate things.
I believe like especially when I like first joined the project and I was kind of learning like uh, what the core like experience that folks really wanted to build out, and our project leads felt very like passionate about as efficiency over automation, because automation is convenient when you have a game with like a lot of content, um, and you know like need to delegate things so that you can have more time for other things. So it's there's an aspect of design that requires a certain scope for that to be a useful thing to implement, and then there's also the experience part of it. Whereas the like experience for Fae Farm is to have like efficiency upgrades rather than automation upgrades. So instead of like kind of pushing a button and walking away and doing something else, the desire would be to have all of the activities feel so engaging and fun that you would want to do them, but you want to be able to do them more efficiently. So that's why we have designs that are in line with like using your watering can to do once you upgrade it fully, you could do a big splash at the same time, or having a potion to water plants with a rain cloud following you, and so on and so forth. So I think what I would like to see, what I would like to be able to do with the right amount of time and support is to create more and more efficiency stuff that it feels more fulfilling, and kind of more engaging, um, and like doesn't feel like it's taking up too much time, and you actually feel really good for completing those tasks, over automation. I'm not entirely like fully saying no automation ever. Again, like not to be like lukewarm on everything, but just because we want to make sure that we're taking things, and considering everything before we make yes or no commitments. But the ideal scenario would be like so much efficiency upgrades that it feels really good to do it all, and you don't feel like you're missing automation, basically.
Yep.
And if we can get to that point, awesome. If we do all this stuff and it still feels like I really need automation, more discussion, more decisions further past that point. But I want to push for that first.
Yeah. I think focusing on efficiency over automation is definitely a thing. Like, we don't want people to feel that they've got to like pre-plan out their whole day necessarily, but
Mm-hmm.
you've seen things like the improved stat display. Obviously, we just added trinkets. You know, there are ways that we have thought about adding things into the game that maybe could help with certain areas of your farm. But yeah, I think we've talked about like potentially, I think, reducing the amount of mana certain abilities and things like that take. So there's some like balancing stuff there that's maybe slightly different to automation.
Exactly. Yeah, because everything costs a thing. Like it's energy or mana. Buffing out those efficiency like modules and gameplay loops would be helpful, as well as like making the game feel really fun. Like being able to do those things and feel like you're looking forward to it rather than kind of like dreading it. And all this to say, like automation doesn't necessarily have to mean push one button and then not think about it. Like there could be a design that is like delegation of like you engage in a smaller loop to then delegate something that reduces the size of the loop, but you're still engaging it in some way. If that makes sense. So
Yeah.
there's stuff to try.
All right, let's come towards some of the end ones. Wow, look at that! It is. We're at that time already.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness, went by so fast.
I know it did go by so fast. This has been fun, Mel. We should do this more often, hey? Um, so Rafe also asked, are you planning on releasing some kind of physical merch? I like that Matt on our publishing team gave us this question to ask. You tell me, Matt. Uh, uh, I don't know the answer to that question. I will follow up with some of our publishing friends, and we'll find out if that's something that we want to do in the future. Hell, I would
Yeah.
I would love to get some Fae Farm merch. We have these wonderful dev team
Oh
hoodies that Mel is wearing right now that are very cozy, and
yeah.
I'm kind of regret not bringing mine to the stream with me.
Yes. I've got a little lunan on the back.
Yeah, it is wonderful. They're so good, and we all match on Zoom calls, so we're all really cool people.
Super awesome. It's true.
Casey on Twitter asked, are there plans for the game to come to other consoles? So, as you can imagine, there are some things that have an official answer. There are no plans to release on other platforms as of today. We'll make sure to let you know if it changes. So yeah, we'll let you know if that's a thing that we go down the path of doing. You will hear it from us first.
Yeah.
We'll probably share it in
We
a
would be
forum
so
like this.
excited. We would tell you right away.
Nelly on Discord asked, do you plan on supporting the game even after the second content release next year? I feel like this game has so much potential still regarding new storylines, dungeons, and places to explore. Yes, like we are committed to supporting Fae. We just spent the last kind of, I guess, hour or so talking about our plans for early to mid 2024. We're looking forward to what might happen after expansion 2.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a visitor.
This is Holmes. He's my co-designer. He's if there's a decision in the game if there's any design in the game that people really like, it was Holmes. And if there's anything that broke, it was me.
I like that you didn't set that up the other way around and make Holmes the fall guy.
He's very good at what he does. I've learned a lot from him.
Oh, that's amazing. All the Twitch chat is just, it's baby.
It's baby.
Yeah,
it is baby.
I don't disagree.
Can Holmes be? Oh, I wish Holmes could be in the game. Maybe if we have time, I'm going to bully everybody on the team until Holmes is in the game.
All right, I think that is us coming to the end. Matt, please feel free in the chat to yell at us if you see something that we've not addressed, but I think we've hit most of the big things. I guess I will say, we're going to try and be a little bit more upfront. We can't always speak to everything, especially when something is like a game suggestion. We can't necessarily always come back and say yes or no on something that might be a little way out. But the best place to come and have those sort of conversations with us is our Discord. I would say we usually are in there a lot. We're about to take a couple of weeks off for a holiday break, as we mentioned. So we'll be back in January, and we'll be back kind of responding to questions and talking about suggestions and things like that. I need to go and finish completing my buddy binder. Get all the remainder little friends.
Get the critters. Get the frogs.
Get the frogs.
But get the worm dance. The wormy dance is the best.
I love the way they move around. It's so good. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been really fun.
Yeah,
thank you for all the questions.
Coming. Yeah, and definitely keep asking questions. We'll be back in the new year, and if there's ever anything that you're really curious about, we can always at least like confirm we're either thinking about it, or if it's something that's like a no-go or like a maybe, we can do that for sure. So yeah, happy to be chatting and to be doing this. I think it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll probably pop this up in YouTube afterwards, so you'll be able to watch again if you missed any of the questions or came in partway through the stream, anything like that. Thank you so much. We'll see you in Discord. We'll see you with this wonderful 2.1 update in January. Have a happy holidays, everybody, and thank you so much for your time. And thank you for your support, everybody. Fae Farm.
Yeah.
Goodbye. I'm doing my hand wavy. Thank you very much. Bye, friends.